jump into a game that's going to probably be the most talked about game of the week, and that's going to be the Dolphins 3-0, Bills 2-1. We got the Bills coming in 2.5-point favorites, and then we have the over under of 53.5. So I'm going to let you kick this one off, Jeff. What are your thoughts on this game, and who do you have winning this game?
I'm trying to go through my memory bank here. Vegas, Bills. Who'd the Bills have last week?
The Bills played against the Commanders last week and won that game 7-3.
Okay, so look at this way. Again, you got this Dolphins team right now that starts 2-0 on the road at the Chargers, at the Patriots. Come home, which was supposed to be a tough fought, sense of urgency game for the Broncos. And a minute and a half in, it's 7-0. 5 minutes in, it's 14-0. Thanks for playing. They put up a 70 burger. Now, the real sense of urgency here is on the Bills, and I'll tell you why. They're 2-1 right now. With a loss at home to the Dolphins, they'll be 2 games behind the Dolphins, yet they'll be 0-2 in divisional games. They lost at the Jets home opener. At the Jets first game of the week, and now they'll be playing the Dolphins. So this is a true must win, which we know what happens with must wins here. But what I did here, my true number here was a pick'em with a 53.5. Right now it's up to 3 and 53.5. So again, like the Jacksonville play, you want to get in early here because again, this number is moving all to the Bills. I will tell you this, at 3, the sharps are just going to say, okay, you're going to give me a field goal with the Dolphins. I'm going to take it all day and see if it goes to 3.5. It won't. Bills must win. Give me the money line. Hope and pray, but again, if you're not putting pressure on Tua, Raheem Mostert, other than CMC, the best back in the game right now, especially for fantasy purposes. His rookie part 2 running back, Mr. Achane, had 4 touchdowns as well. We'll be interested to see how they use him. I assume Jalen Waddle will be back. They did all that last week without Jalen Waddle too. So expect Waddle to be back. It's going to be a fun game. The game of the week, hands down the best game of the week. First 1 to 30 wins here, Pops. I'm taking the Bills minus 145 on the money line.
All right. So I'm looking at some things, and you know what, Jeff? The other night I was actually, I kind of put myself to sleep every night with these old school NFL playoff games from the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that. And I had one on the other night, and it was the Dolphins and the Bills back in 1990 when the divisional champion. And, the Bills really never had games like that for a long time where divisional round, they're going against the Dolphins. And then I looked at, they showed the all-time record. The Dolphins were 35-14-1 all time against the Bills in that game. I'm looking at it now, Jeff. Guess what the record says today? 62-56-1. Crazy. 33 years later, and literally it's now a somewhat of a rivalry. It sounds a lot like the Browns and the Steelers. The Browns started off with a spot 'em 20 up situation, and then now you guys know how it goes now with the Steelers and the Browns. So I just wanted to say that fun story real quick. And the last time the Dolphins won in Buffalo, it was Christmas Eve 2016. So this is a very make or break game for the Dolphins. But one thing about the Dolphins is this: the Dolphins will probably be the flavor of the week this week. But they'll also be the team that everybody's fading this week because they just dropped 70 points in a game, and they will have a big target on their back to how are we going to stop this team. That's becomes the now, message in all these locker rooms for the next month or so. But, Buffalo wants to make sure they don't get embarrassed. And the Dolphins will probably come into this game with a lot of different looks. They're going to probably come into this game with something that the Bills haven't seen yet as well. And I'm going to keep it real. It took me a while to come around with McDaniels, but McDaniels is a mad genius. He's actually what Sean McVay used to be. Innovative, smart, and he's gonna run plays and see if it works. Even if it doesn't look that sexy on film, hey, I got 30 yards off of it. And that's where the Dolphins are getting their mojo from. They reminded me a lot of how McVay was when he took over the Rams in the beginning. They're exciting. It's tough to stop a team like this, and they're playing great defense as well too. And Tua's playing just lights out MVP type ball. And I like Buffalo, but I feel like Josh Allen is still going to be your issue here. And it's going to be big issues here. And I think Miami has it on their mind to get their sweet revenge after almost winning that playoff game last year in Buffalo. So I feel like Miami goes into this game and they shock the system once again, and they improve to 4-0 on the season and against the spread as well too, Jeff, because Miami is a spread monster this year. And guess who else is a spread monster this year as well too? The Cardinals, and also the Eagles, of course. And I'm trying to think of my third team right now, Green Bay. So there you have it. So I'm with the another dog for me, Jeff, plus 125 to the Dolphins. I feel good about this one. And I know usually when they make an undefeated team the favorite, the dog, they usually lose. They know what they're talking about with this. But I just think that this Dolphins team is better, and they're going to use this game as motivation this week to win. It's that simple. So with that,
I'm going to interject for 1 second because this is the same setup. Actually, I think the spread might have been 4 or 5, but this was the playoff game when Cincinnati came in against Buffalo. Cincinnati was the better team, but yet Buffalo was 3.5, 4-point favorites, whatever they were. And Cincinnati came in and punched them in the gut, 14-0 quick. And then the snow came and the rest was history. Again, this Miami team can score from anywhere on the field, whether it's Mozart, whether it's Waddle, whether it's Hill. And so the point is that Buffalo defense is quick. They're fast. But if they're going to do a lot of blitzing and they don't get to Tua, there's going to be a lot of big plays there. And we know Josh Allen has regressed and he starts to make a few of these bonehead plays. And if he starts coming from having to play from behind, look for the Miami defense, to take advantage of it. And so hats off to you, because your money line with Atlanta and your money line with the Dolphins, you split that and go 1-1. You're making money. For me, I went the other way. I took the two favorites. If I split, I lose money. So I got to go 2-0 not to lose money. So hats off to you. I love where your eyes are on those two games, by the way.
Thank you, sir. And, I just always say to myself that, you know what, when they make these spreads 2.5, 1.5, just pick the winner. You don't have to play with